When observed from the vastness of deep space, the Earth appears as a massive, completely self-contained sphere. But that vastness is deceptive. The overwhelming majority of the planet's volume, the dense crust, the molten mantle, and the iron core, is completely sterile. Life is confined to the biosphere. This is a mathematically microscopic, razor-thin margin where the outer crust meets the lower atmosphere. Every known biological organism exists strictly within this single containment zone. Outside of this edge, the planet is entirely dark. Because the Earth is a physically closed system, it relies entirely on a continuous influx of external energy to function. That energy comes exclusively from the sun. This solar input drives highly concentrated biological diversity, coastal shores, tropical canopies, grasslands, and complex wildlife food chains packed tightly into this narrow space. We often perceive our environment as boundless. In reality, our entire civilization operates strictly inside a rigid, finite physical constraint. For almost all of human history, our species operated within the natural limits of this constraint. We functioned as a symbiotic component of the biosphere. Modern industrialization broke that baseline. We transitioned into a period defined by rapid and extreme human interference with established natural cycles. This interference creates systemic risk. By pushing the biosphere past its operational limits, we directly threaten the life and livelihoods of millions of people globally. Mitigating this escalating risk requires rigorous analysis. This text block from the Indira Gandhi National Open University course introduction outlines exactly why environmental studies is now a compulsory subject. To understand the crisis, we have to construct a systems-level map of our planet's architecture and trace exactly how our actions destabilize it. Environmental studies provides the analytical tools required to monitor and stabilize our planet's failing operating parameters. We start by looking at natural ecosystems as perfectly balanced thermodynamic engines, driven exclusively by solar energy exchange. Energy enters the system through a primary node, typically plant life, and distributes downward through a network of biological organisms. These trophic levels consume and recycle nutrients back into the soil, creating a closed loop that never depletes core reserves. This self-sustaining loop is the planet's baseline operating state. Left alone, it requires zero external maintenance. Whether mapping a dense mangrove forest, a deep ocean trench, or a sprawling grassland, every major biome on Earth runs on this exact same underlying architecture. Before human industrialization, the Earth was a highly efficient biological engine, perfectly tuned to process its daily solar input. Modern human development treats this biological engine as a repository of raw materials. We place a massive load on the system by aggressively extracting specific inputs: land, water, forests, biodiversity, and energy. The academic term for this is ecosystem services. These extractions are the absolute baseline requirements that permit human sustenance and allow our economies to grow. Over recent historical periods, there has been a highly accelerated decline in these natural reserves. This abstract load translates to a stark physical reality. Critical forest resources are mechanically harvested to feed the demands of an expanding population. This is not localized damage. It is a globally synchronized, massive mechanical effort to fuel modern human civilization. Our energy demands, specifically, require us to dig into the crust, extracting buried planetary reserves like coal and oil to power the global grid. Global economic development is ultimately the dangerous rerouting of Earth's baseline energy into human infrastructure, creating an immense destabilizing load. Every closed system has a carrying capacity. When human extraction outpaces the planet's natural regeneration rate, the system breaches. The first immediate symptom of this systemic breach is heavy environmental pollution, injected directly into the atmosphere. Simultaneously, our industrial waste byproducts are forced back into the ecosystem, rapidly overwhelming the Earth's natural filtration limits. This toxic overload causes severe soil degradation, compounding a worldwide crisis in waste management. The severe chemical and physical alteration of the natural environment leads directly to the permanent, irreversible loss of local biodiversity. Left unchecked, this localized industrial damage cascades into massive, continent-spanning hazards. Acid rain and global warming are the ultimate manifestations of a breached system. This 4-panel satellite map visualizes total ozone levels over Antarctica from 1985 to 1988. The deep purple and red zones display a critical, expanding failure in the upper atmosphere, proving the physical limits of the Earth's protective layer. Air pollution, toxic waste, and a warming climate are the direct, quantifiable symptoms of this singular, systemic overload. An unregulated, over-extracted closed system will inevitably collapse. The only solution is the introduction of external control mechanisms. This is the function of environmental legislation. It acts as a hard legal constraint designed to throttle resource extraction and force remediation. These policies operate as necessary feedback loops, artificially forcing human industry back towards sustainable operational limits. But hard legal constraints are insufficient on their own. They require foundational shifts in human beliefs. Environmental ethics act as the behavioral update required to permanently align with the biosphere's limits. Because we can no longer rely on natural symbiosis, we have to consciously engineer laws and ethics to artificially stabilize the planet's carrying capacity. This entire systems model dictates the course curriculum. Block 1 outlines our baseline ecosystems. Block 2 details natural resource extraction. Block 3 examines systemic breaches like pollution. And Block 4 represents the vital policies required to repair our environment. Our global civilization operates with immense momentum. Without an informed population to actively enforce these necessary controls, sustainable human development is simply impossible. Solving 21st century global challenges depends on mastering this multidisciplinary framework. This curriculum serves as the technical instruction manual for maintaining human survival within a closed system.